Right, I'm going to show how to clean the chimney, the standard metal chimney. Triple wall or double wall insulated chimneys. It's pretty easy. I'm going to show how to do this, and I'll show how to do the Baker's Choice stove on the inside. You have to clean that out at least once or twice a year. We burn only seasoned wood, no green stuff, no fresh wood, no pine or things like that have a lot of resin, so it should be good. This gets used a lot. It's our only source of heat, besides a couple of little portable heaters, but the main heat source for the house is the wood stove. So it gets a lot built up. So the main concern for most or all chimneys is creosote. Creosote is the stuff that doesn't quite burn and collects on the side like this. This yucky stuff. It's kind of greasy stuff that sticks to it, and that actually, if it catches on fire, for any sparks or anything comes up the chimney, this catches on fire and burns really hot. It'll basically melt all this stuff and catch the house on fire. But that's something we don't want. You have that, and you put your little sticks together. Got a little brush. It's a 6-inch brush. You have the extensions. This is going to go all the way down to the. Oops, don't want to drop that in there. This is going to go all the way down. This is going to go all the way down to the inside the stove, just right to the back of the stove. And I'll show where this will end. But I'm just basically brushing the creosote loose. It comes loose really easy. Brushing it loose from the sidewalls and knocking it down into the stove. Then we got to brush it out of the stove. Get these put together. People use all kinds of different things. I've heard of people using chains, rags, all kinds of stuff. This little brush I bought from Lowe's works pretty good. Got to clean it with something though. And this extends, goes all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to show inside before I get started. Attempt to show the creosote in there. It's like, I don't know, charcoal or coal, greasy stuff. I don't want to touch it, it's pretty yucky. Anyway, can't see down in there very good. But that's what creosote looks like. We're going to scrape that stuff off and scrape it to the bottom. No telephone wires around, be careful of that. Be very careful of what's around you. That a little tighter. Don't want to lose any pieces of this on the way down. Trying to twist it a little bit as I go. Yeah, it comes nice and clean. I'll show the difference in a minute at the top piece. Kind of a tight fit, but it has to be. It won't scrub anything. It comes close to the bottom there. I wasn't close. There, that's it. Pretty simple. I'll show you what it looks like. Doesn't take long. Ours just doesn't build up too bad. So you saw what that looked like just a minute ago. That right there is much cleaner than it was. Can't really see inside great, but that side wall is much cleaner. Doesn't take much. Okay, here's the stove inside. It's called Baker's Choice if you're wanting to know how to clean a Baker's Choice. There's the chimney. I was up there. Just scraped it down with that brush down to here. Chimney comes down. This is the single walled black chimney pipe. It comes down to here, and then that goes into the back box of the stove. And this is you can divert this around the stove inside oven or not. You can let the heat go out quicker to get a better draft, or you can close it to make the heat go around inside the stove. This is the little cleaner that they send with the Baker's Choice. There's only one place to clean in here, is inside here. This is the oven. So when you turn that lever in the back, it makes the fire and heat go around this box. Just a metal box goes around it, and then it comes up. So don't have to worry about that. None of the ash or anything will go in the actual oven. Here's the cleaning spot right down here, if you can see this. You take this off, this panel. But first, I'm going to go in here. You can see in here, this is the fire box, and this is the ash box. It needs to be cleaned out. So, right up here, you can see inside right here, there's a bunch of creosote built up in there. That's where it goes around the stove, the oven parts. We're going to scrape that down and clean it from the bottom. So there's a couple things on these stoves you can get into. They give you this with the stove inside. That's the firebox. You can drop wood in there if you want from that way. You can take this off and put a cast iron pan right on there. It's going to cook a lot hotter, way faster and hotter with this off. We don't usually do that. You'd think the smoke would come right out of here, but it doesn't. When you have a good fire and a good draft, it goes up the chimney. You'd think it would come right out of here, but they don't. You look in, the flames are going sideways like that. And this one got some homemade trivets, railroad ties we found. That is, you do this, and you put a pan on it, and it doesn't get quite as hot. If you put it right on here, it gets really hot. You can also move pans to different spots on it to get different heat. The heat's going to be hotter right here and over here where it flows across. This is like a cooler spot up here. Then this one, I can get into the top of the, look at that, that's built up pretty bad. I can get into the creosote. Let me scrape that and you can see what it looks like. This is old ash and creosote built up. It's not horrible, but it's a lot of ash. A lot of this just came down the chimney right to here. So we'll scrape this down over there, and we'll scrape it into a little bucket over there. So that's one of the things we're getting rid of. Do that about once a year. You can do it twice, but once a year seems to be good for us. All right, I'm gonna scrape over here. This looks like mostly ash. I can just drag it this way, most of this, into the ash pan, and we'll just take it out. Actually, it's not much creosote here, it's just ash. The ash down here, and then let's see, creosote looks like on the back wall. There's a little bit. It's not horrible at all. It doesn't take much to scrape it off. Can you see inside there? It scrapes right off pretty easy. You let it build up, you're risking a fire, and it's too hot for metal to handle and creosote burns. All right, now let's get inside here. Take this off. Whoop. Probably need to get my pan out here. See, there's a lot of the creosote we knocked down. Can you see that real close? See a bunch of ash and stuff in there. Just gonna try to scrape that clean. So, talk about dirty jobs. I wonder if Mike Rowe's ever been a chimney sweep. If he's not, someone let him know. Let him do that. Feels kind of thick. A lot of this ash too. Hear that chip sound? Like dry chips, that's creosote. That's mixed in there with ash, but that chips is creosote. It's like shiny looking charcoal stuff. If you burn that, it burns really hot. You don't want that burning in here or in that little thin walled chimney. It'll melt it. Sure don't want that in your attic. Super hot and getting into your attic since catch the whole roof and attic on fire. I can feel it comes down the chimney. It's all that way back there. There's a decent. There's a lot. You can feel all the way to the back when that drops down. And that little chute where the chimney meets. Getting it though, it's getting there. That's a lot. Close to half a bucket. If you let this go for a year, you'll be in bad shape. Do it another winter season without cleaning it out. Definitely risking a fire. It's not a bad design stove. Wish there was a little easier access to this thing where you could see better too, but just kind of got to feel around with this little tool. Almost got it. Take the flashlight, take a peek. You see that? See in there? Looks way better. All right, I think it's done. Got to close it up. Closing it back up. Hopefully until next year sometime. Maybe next summer again, it need to be cleaned out. We're good for one winter season coming up. While I'm here, I'll go ahead and clean this ash out after we shut this video off. Alright, and that's how you clean Baker's Choice wood stove.